Good morning, Fabulites, walking and talking. This is the little urban farm in the neighborhood next to me. It's not really just a farm, it's a whole thing they got going. It's the CDC, I think, Central Detroit Christian. That's their bus over there. And that used to be their farm and fishery. They did, you see they got another hoop house back there. I don't know if you can see it on the block back. Then they got this, and they got the hoop house next to here. They do they do the outdoor exercise machines that we go to. They do home housing workshops. They do, right, they've renovated houses in the neighborhood. They seem to renovate and incubate businesses and try to give them to local folks. They have a grocery store called Peaches and Greens, which I think is the best name, but I never hardly go over there. It's a small spot, but some of the stuff they grow on their farms, they have there, plus other stuff. They have this laundromat called, what is it called? Wash, fold, and exercise. Wash and fold. What is it called?
I don't remember. We're going to pass by it in a few minutes.
Yeah. So,
right, they have exercise machines inside the laundromat.
right. Fit and Fold. It's called Fit and Fold because they have little weight stations in there. And then what used to be Mr. Fofo's, they own that place. Uh-oh, Bella done found her a bone. And they gave it to, somebody was leasing it from them, but it seemed like it hadn't really been working out. They have this higher ground landscaping thing, but I think that they start the companies and then try to sell them off to local people. I'm not really clear about that, but that's what are they called? Christian Development Corporation? I can't remember.
They have volunteers come in sometimes from the suburbs, busloads full of white teenagers to help
Cut down trees and, yeah, help. And that, when we started using the exercise machines, that's the first time I saw reference to Piety Hill. It said that there's these 7 outdoor exercise machines in the community of Piety Hill in this 1 mile radius or whatever. And we ended up meeting. It's like a middle-aged white woman who's supposed to be like the mayor of the neighborhood. That's what this guy Chris, he lived across from one of the exercise machines that we work out at, and he does renovations in the area. And he said she's like the mayor of the neighborhood, but she's the one who runs CDC. And so she said, and we talked to her one day, and she told us about why it was called Piety Hill. And I tried to research it. I couldn't find much on it, but I think I found one reference on the internet to it. Not the whole internet, but just what I was able to find, on my phone a couple years ago when I was looking it up. But yeah, we out here walking and talking. When we started off, it's kind of like it's gonna rain, but it's just now kind of starting to rain. And it's okay. The other day I went to the, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I went to the grocery store, and then I walked back, me and Bella walked back, Aldi. And Aldi is what, about 1 mile away, 2 miles away? Mm-hmm. And probably about 5 blocks in, it started to rain. And then 10 blocks in, it started to rain real hard. By the time I got home, I was just soaked. My coat was soaked through. My underwear was soaked through. It was traumatic. I've never had that experience before. But I guess it wasn't traumatic enough to stop me from going out. I guess because I had to just keep walking through it. I couldn't. Bella wanted to dig into, go up underneath some bushes, but I couldn't fit up underneath the bushes. So that wouldn't have helped me stay dry. And then once she got totally wet, she was cool. She wanted to go on with her regular scavenging routine. But, yeah.
It smells like rain.
That's this neighborhood, one neighborhood over. I don't know what it's called, Piety Hill, but it has another name, doesn't this neighborhood?
Well, Piety Hill has to do with all the churches in the neighborhood.
Oh, I thought I said that. Because if you go on Woodward,
Right.
but we can even see a church here, but on Woodward there are a lot of old big churches. But I was doing a tour of downtown yesterday, and when we got to the Fox Theater and kind of before, this whole corridor of Woodward starting downtown has a lot of big, grand old churches on it. And the tour guide referred to that as Piety Hill. So, this whole corridor of Woodward, we're not on Woodward, but, if you go over a block, you'd be on Woodward. And you see the big, beautiful, grand old churches. But this neighborhood has a name. Piety Hill is not what it's commonly known as, because nobody knows what you're talking about if you call this neighborhood. Because we're in Boston Edison, then you come over this way. I don't know what this neighborhood is called. You don't know what it's called? It don't have a name.
Virginia Park, further down.
Virginia Park.
Claremont. Yeah.
Come on, let me take a picture of you, girl. You got me.
I'm not taking a picture. I'm taking a video. Now that guy here, he almost always be the main one on this corner. And the other people kind of come and go. Dang. They walking down the street with a shopping cart full of food. I don't know what's going on. This corner kind of makes you feel like you're in the country or something. You saw I'm coming down the street with a shopping cart full of groceries. Yeah, this corner is like the community square of this neighborhood. It's a couple huge apartments right in this area. So I guess you get a really, really high density. And I guess he's like that guy who was like, come on, let me take a picture, I'll hook you up. I guess he's almost always there, no matter who's there or not there, he's there. But yeah, and we're coming up on Fit and Fold. So I kind of like the idea of trying to do stuff. Is this somebody else with a shopping cart full of food? They're giving out food and shopping carts. Here's somebody else with a shopping cart full of food. Y'all, I don't know what's going on. So this is Fit and Fold here. They have a better sign. I don't know if you can see it over the door. Hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing?
Good. So, oh wow, Bella and the lady are back there. But it's just a rambly day today. Yeah, all these people coming with shopping carts. So have a wonderful day. You out walking? Where are you walking today? Depending on which way I go from home. They gave y'all carts too? All right.
Checks, Nick.
It's big old frozen sausages, watermelons. I don't know what's going on. Where are you out walking today? Who are you talking to? What you talking about? What's your neighborhood like? What are the neighborhoods around you like? Now, the main neighborhood is much quieter. You hardly ever see people out in that neighborhood. I did notice in that big house we talked about, which takes up a whole city block, that they have like umbrellas and stuff set out in the backyard. So maybe they do use it. Because the people don't even use the space. They got all that space and they don't use it. But in this neighborhood, you see people walking and moving about.
Start raining out with it.
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
Well, we don't have to.
I guess in my neighborhood, you'll see people running and walking their dogs, but you don't see people just walking around. But anyway, Fabulous, it's raining. I'm gonna put this up. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you.